Hello and welcome. I'm Charles Aitib. Our Hassan Andani, economist, is charging banks to prioritize customer service. Speaking at the launch of Ghana's first customer index report by the Chartered Institute of Markets in Ghana, he indicated that customers can make and unmake a venture, thus ignoring the outcome of the report, which will be detrimental to the operations. The report scored EcoBank 5 stars, with a bank with the overall service quality. We have more in this report.
A customer satisfaction index report is a versatile analytical tool for measuring customer satisfaction with a product, service, or company. It offers help in finding reasons of customer satisfaction, or rather, dissatisfaction. The Chartered Institute of Marketing, Ghana, launched Ghana's first customer satisfaction index report. And speaking at the launch, economist and retired banker Hassan Andani urged the banks to take the outcome of the report seriously.
The discipline that has gone into this is thorough, and it speaks lots of volumes. That segment, even if it is not significant in terms of your financial market, it is the litmus test of your service standards, and we should take it seriously. This is the voice of your customer. So I would only want to reiterate that you will dismiss this study at your own peril.
President of CIMG, Daniel Kasati, explained the reason why the banking industry was chosen for the first survey, saying it is one of the best regulated sectors.
It is on purpose that we chose to start with banking, as this industry is one of the best regulated ones, for which the regulator exercises much control and can easily ensure that a certain minimum quality standard is maintained by all players. This, we believe, will ensure that consumers get what they pay for and what they expect.
Meanwhile, consultant at Ghana Association of Bankers, Daniel Opare, pledged his outfit's alliance with CIMG to ensure that customers receive the best services all the time.
As we aim, that is the GAB, at positioning the industry across as world-class and customer-oriented, the rationale and importance of the index cannot be exaggerated. Customers will, for the first time, understand that the industry is placing on them this huge responsibility of being the cardinal point for assessing service standards. We are confident that the banking industry will tap into the expertise and partnership with the CIMG to broaden the industry's skills and understanding of customer needs to deliver relevant innovations.
EcoBank Ghana topped the overall service quality score with 5 stars, and Agricultural Development Bank ranked last with 2 stars. The Customer Index report sampled 2,300 customers from 23 banks.
Now, a status report of the Axle Load implementation in the country has revealed that corruption is one of the major impediments to the implementation of the project. This is because Axle Load attendees team up with agents and transporters to allow overloaded trucks to ply the roads without the prescribed permission available. Also, the absence of weighing equipment at loading point is also a major challenge. Now, these challenges are affecting transit trade, which generates about $34 million annually for the country. We have more in this report.
The Axle Load Control Program seeks to ensure that all loaded trucks plying the roads in Ghana are within the prescribed permissible axle load, gross weight, and dimension limits under the Road Traffic Regulations 2012. But due to challenges in the implementation, such as overloading of trucks, stakeholders including the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, Motor Transport and Transit Department, and the National Security met to deliberate on what to do to ensure the smooth running of the program. Speaking to Joy Business, Head of Freight and Logistics at the Ghana Shippers Authority, Francis Esiedu Date, said his outfit is concerned about overloaded trucks on the roads, despite the significant earnings the country makes from transit trade.
It has become very critical for us at the Ghana Shippers Authority, under the Transit Shipper Committee, where we have discussions on these issues, to ensure that we have all the players come together so we can understand what the real issues are, and then we can address them. First of all, we find out that the port is the major source of all transit cargo coming in. The port is installed with way equipment. And so you would shudder to think, how come that we have such huge numbers of trucks using our roads, and these trucks are overloaded?
President of Border Alliance of Ghana, Ziad Hamui, for his part, said capping commercial vehicles, particularly trucks, is a key issue to be looked at to prevent the road's infrastructure from being damaged.
The main point about capping the maximum weight of commercial vehicles on our roads is to make sure that these roads would serve not just for this year and next year, but for the 10 years that are coming. And so that we will not shorten the lives of these these infrastructure, so to say. So road safety is also a concern because an overloaded truck is more likely to break down, or worse, to cause loss of life and damage.
Ghana has been a pioneer in implementing axle weight controls, having started to implement them in June 2009, long before the meeting by member states in Ouagadougou in March 2010.
Now, the Ghana Stock Exchange is partnering with Association of Ghana Industries and other medium-scale enterprises to increase participation on the alternate market. Now, the move follows low patronage on the Ghana alternative market after several campaigns to SMEs on the list. Deputy Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Abena Amwa, tells Joy Business the new partnership will bring some excitement onto the market.
But we haven't seen a lot more come. So we've taken a new view to it. And we are now approaching a certain type of SME. Because the main thing for investors is that the company should be open to partnership. And partnership requires accountability, right? Because as an investor who puts 1,000 cedis of your funds in, you are not part of day-to-day management, but you want the people managing it to manage the business well so that the 1,000 cedis you put in can grow via dividends and capital gains on the stock market. It can go from 1,000 to 10,000 cedis, right? So we are partnering with AGI to target more of the medium-sized companies, many of whom have gone through some governance or will have gone through some governance practices to help them be more open to this idea of partnership. We are partnering with networks like the Stanford Seed Transformation Network, which has over 150 Ghanaian medium-sized companies, many of whose products we use every day. And they are looking to transform their business. And they've worked assiduously with consultants, global consultants, and are better capable of meeting this governance and this partnership process that retail investors or institutional investors are looking for. We are working more closely with accelerators, with the private equity funds, to look at some of their investee companies that they are ready to exit. Because these private equity funds have worked with many of these investee companies and have instilled with them the partnership arrangement of being open, of producing financial results, of being accountable, so that they can, when they come to the GACS market, they are able to continue doing that.
Now, the German development agency GIZ, in collaboration with the Tony Elumelu Foundation, have launched the Women in Entrepreneurship for Africa program. Now, this team lead Employment for Skills and Development for Africa at GIZ, John Duty, said the program will serve as a platform for young women entrepreneurs to expand their businesses and be able to employ others. We have more in this report.
Women in Africa have over the years had struggles with accessing formal jobs and confronted with challenges that stall their progress as entrepreneurs. But in order to capitalize on the full potential of women entrepreneurs for employment creation, Team Lead for Employment for Skills and Development for Africa at GIZ, John Duty, says employment issues in Africa can be reduced marginally if women entrepreneurs are given the maximum support they need.
We realize that women do a lot for this country in the informal sector. They do the very little things that sometimes we ignore. And for me, I believe in small is beautiful. If we target on these small things that they do, build their capacities, support them to overcome the teething challenges that they have, I can assure you that these smaller informal businesses that we have are those that can help grow our economy and also expand and thereby create the jobs that we need.
Chief Director at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Patrick Yaonimo, admonished entrepreneurs to leverage information technology to expand their businesses. He encouraged the use of social media as a marketing tool.
In this era of, I don't know whether it's post-COVID, pre-COVID, almost post-COVID, it is also important to leverage information and communication technology. For us who are past our prime, we are even trying to catch up. So you have no chance to ignore the sheer magnitude of what you can do with the new tools. I see that a lot of people compete for social media presence and likes. This can be converted by entrepreneurs into profits and by producers into markets.
Executive Director at the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Linda Forukwafo, who was keynote speaker at the launch, noted that women can start their own businesses with any amount they have, no matter how small, in order to minimize any losses they may incur.
If you're starting a business and you don't have all the resources that you need, you can actually start on a very small scale. Depending on the kind of business you want to go into, people can start as little as 50 Ghana cedis. Others can also start with their mother's savings or their own savings. So you save towards mobilizing the right resources that you need to be able to kickstart. And the reason is that normally the banks and things will only give you resources when they see that there's some, so you've started and there's you are able to move. They don't usually like, you are making progress and they are seeing the results. That's when they want to come in and push in something. So it's always good for you to start small. When you start small, to the failure rate or the risk and all those things are minimal, because it's something you are experimenting. You've dreamed, you have a dream. And normally entrepreneurs are visionary, so then they have many dreams. Some have books of ideas, so they pick one, they want to start implementation, and usually you have to start on a very small note so that when you are failing you don't really feel, because as we always say, the one that made is a light bulb or whatever failed how many times? A number of times, about 99 times.
You're still watching The Marketplace. We're going for a short commercial break. When we return, we talk cybersecurity. Just stay with us. Hello there, you're welcome back to the program. Well, as we've been stating in the bulletin, today marks day 1 of the Cyber Security Month. And to help us understand the remits regarding the state of cybersecurity, you can see on screens there the fact that in 2020 alone, crypto ransomware attacks reached an all-time high. The value of loss hit more than $400 million, showing a massive 337% increase in a year. And this is just one aspect of the threats to cybersecurity, not just in Ghana, but around the world. We're talking of the whole value chain of internet connectivity and its implicating factors. To help us understand the state of cybersecurity as we commemorate this day, Samuel Boateng and Francisca Boateng, cybersecurity experts. Francisca, I want to start with you. Of course, in Africa, we do not really hear the cases of cybersecurity, even though we're having bouts of cases. Does it really inform the fact that, you know, we're not that exposed, or there's something that we're not doing right?
We are definitely exposed. but we are not doing much as far as internet connectivity and doing business on the cyber world is concerned. Let's take, for example, when COVID-19 hit. Exactly. If we were to be locked down for 3 months, Ghana would be nowhere because we are not really using the internet to do most of our processes. Exactly. So people had to go back to work because we needed the physical force. We didn't have the infrastructure to be able to work virtually. Although some companies did have, but I would say probably 20% of the companies had access, but most people still had to go back to the workforce. So yes, we are not using it at a high level to be exposed. That's why. It's not because we are doing something so special, because when you check systems here, probably we are really not doing as well as others in terms of securing our systems.
Interesting. Let me bring in some more here, because even as access to internet services increase marginally in Ghana, how can we prioritize the factor of cybersecurity?
So this comes into a play where we need to do more of monitoring in terms of communication going out and communication coming in. What happens most of the time is that if we are not able to police the internet, identifying all the traffics, what is going out, what is coming in, which is the source and destinations investigations, then we definitely will be at a higher risk. Because in the introduction to the AIs, the Internet of Things, there's going to be an increase in internet connectivities out there. So we need to do more in terms of monitoring.
Great. You know, we raised an issue regarding cryptocurrencies. And even aside from cryptocurrencies, matters of mobile money payment and online transactions have really exposed so many users to issues regarding cyber threats and even the security that comes with it. What are we doing wrong in Ghana?
We are doing some things right, but we are doing so much wrong. First of all, I talked about infrastructure. I believe that, for example, phones. Most people have phones that have been jailbreaked. The moment it's jailbreak, you've opened your door to fraudsters, because that opens a door for hackers to come in. Jailbreaking, if you have a phone that's locked and you take it to Circle for somebody to unlock it, practically you've opened the door for somebody to come in easily. So these are things that we've exposed ourselves. How many people have antivirus on their phones? They don't. Sometimes I ask people and they say, am I supposed to? Yes, you are supposed to have antivirus on your phone. If you are going to do any transaction, any financial transaction with your phone, it has to be secured.
But, you know, speaking of that, help us understand the cybersecurity trends that we should be expecting in the future.
We are looking into phishing.
We
are looking into mobile threats, a lot of, you know, Sakawa stuff going on, 419 tricks, and IoT devices, like I said. A lot of people connecting to our networks is going to, you know, surge, is going to be very, very big. And so we should be looking into these trends in the upcoming years.
Great. Well, you know, Francisca, so many companies come to you, Slam Technologies, with some of their interactions when it comes to cybersecurity. What feedback do you get when it comes to the threats to cybersecurity in the corporate world?
So most of them, because a lot of times there's a disconnect between the IT and the entire company. Because the weakest link, if the entire company, everybody is not cyber aware, the weakest link can really bring trouble to the company. So I think it's a problem with cyber awareness, where the CSR, customer service rep at the front desk, doesn't have any cyber knowledge, so will click on any link. Once that link is clicked, it affects the whole system. So I think the biggest challenge most companies are facing is the fact that not everybody is cyber aware. You can have people that can use the system, but are they cyber aware? That's the question.
That's very troubling, especially when the company, the management of the company could go out there and, you know, consult with companies like yourself to become cyber safe. But if the workers themselves are not aware about issues regarding cybersecurity, they expose the company more. But let's talk about regulations and legislations. What about legislations should Ghana adapt when it comes to cybersecurity? From your perspective as experts, Samuel.
So from a lot of, on the basis of the legislations, I believe the country is doing very well in terms of that, enacting new policies that we're going to follow, but there's going to be more. One of the key areas is the monitoring, and we are
monitoring,
pleading to the, to the
cybersecurity
authorities to look into it further and adding more of monitoring in terms of us investigating. And it requires a lot of certifications, which is not only policies, but also in terms of us doing it.
Right.
So I believe most of the young ones that are coming up will be interested in looking into the aspects of reverse engineering, malware analysis, looking into the trends where these are coming from, and stopping these things so that it doesn't spread online. And I believe that is where more certification should be added.
Yeah,
Can I add that with the Cybersecurity Act, we've gone through it several times, and it's a great policy. The biggest challenge is, will it be implemented? If it's implemented, great, then we'll be on a good place.
Great. Speaking of the implementation, today also starts the rollout of the re-registration of SIM cards across the country. What's your perspective on this, and how best can this really help the matter of cybersecurity? Because the Communications Minister, Eslo Osokufu, really is confident about this re-registration exercise, saying that it could, in the long run, minimize the incidence of momo fraud in the system.
So implementation and identification is very important. We implement it, and then if I register my phone and I use it for bad stuff, would they find me? That is a bigger part. So identifying your addresses, matching everything is very important, because, for example, someone living in a certain remote part of our country, registering, and let's say they lose their phone and somebody uses a SIM, would you be able to find them? And so identification is, to me, is very important. How we track and trace a person's whereabouts and their location is going to play a very big major role. And so it's a good start, but we need to look into all of that as well.
Okay, so Francisca, your final words on this.
So my final words, if you are a homeowner, a mother, father, business owner, wherever you are, as long as you use the phone, tablet, computer to connect, you need to really look into cyber awareness. You can't just give your phone to your child without having parental controls. You can't just use your system without having protection on it. It's like sleeping in a room without a door.
Right.
If you need help, you can always contact Slam Technologies. We are here to help you, to guide you, and to give you the cyber training you need.
Francisca, we're so grateful. Francisca Boateng, Head of Operations at Slam. Also Samuel Boateng, CEO of Slam Technologies. We're grateful for their perspective as we commemorate Cybersecurity Awareness Month. And of course, that's how we end this edition of The Marketplace. I'm Charles Aite. Many thanks for watching.